Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you in another video. So I haven't had a chance to see what the vibes are in Lakerland. I don't know how people feel. You know, just in general, I haven't had a chance to, because as soon as the trade deadline buzzer sounded, I had to go out. And I did a couple of videos. I'm sure you guys will see them available. Did lives, but basically all day because of the fact that couldn't upload everything on time after 10 a.m. for whatever reason. It would take like 4 hours for everything to upload. So that's what the vibes is. I'll probably do a live tonight for the halftime video, and for the post game video after the Nuggets, I'll probably go live for those. But yeah, man, this is one of those days where I'm just having looked at what everything was of in regards to the Lakers. It's more about the buyout market right now. Spencer Dinwiddie, maybe Kyle Lowry if he gets bought out, maybe Marcus Morris, and that's a name I'm throwing in because I just don't see San Antonio keeping him with their timeline being as it is, and him being a win now piece. So I don't know if he would want to go back to the Clippers. Of course, that's his team that he really made a name for himself on. So I'm not really sure what his options are, but I do think it stands to reason why he would be somebody that would probably be up for being waived at this point. So it's just curious to me. You know, I wonder if the Lakers are going to be big players in this buyout market, or will we strike out and then just not have any upgrades on our team? That's my concern. You know, another guy I'm wondering about, I haven't heard anything, but it seems like the tea leaves around Dallas is that they've upgraded their center position to where maybe they can let go of a center like Richaun Holmes. Like I said, I'm pulling these names from my mind rather than hearing anything in regards to these people. But like Marcus Morris and Richaun Holmes, I just wonder, like, you got Gafford, you got PJ, you got Lively. Do you need Holmes? And if not, would they be willing to waive him? And if so, could he be also a guy the Lakers may take a look at, or another team that needs a center? The Golden State Warriors did not address their center position tonight. I think that was a huge mistake. So, you know, it's just a lot of teams that I think the buyout market could be a little crowded for a lot of us who, you know, the Lakers may not be able to get just their pick of the litter necessarily. I'd like to think we're at the top of the list for a lot of teams, but may not be. It just simply may not be. So we'll see, man. We'll see what the Lakers' options are. But, you know, today's trade deadline was anticlimactic for a lot of us who've been talking a lot about DeJounte Murray and, you know, Royce O'Neal. Obviously, he went to the Suns. Dorian Finney-Smith, who stays with the Nets. I don't know how he feels about that. Miles Bridges, who ultimately Clutch released a statement today, as we talked about in another video, that essentially said that they didn't have any interest in being moved there. So that was unfortunate. I really wanted Miles Bridges on this team, but I know his trade value probably reached up to such a level to where it's damn near impossible to really gauge a proper value for a player like that who has off the court issues, but on the court he's balling like an all-star. He's only making $8 million, so he's going to be up for an extension, or rather a free agency. So it's like, it's kind of hard to trade for a guy like that in this type of market especially. So rather than try to get a price tag for him, it'd probably be best not to, honestly. Probably be best not to. And just keep him for the $8 million and try to see if you can re-sign him at a price you like if you're Charlotte. If not, letting him walk at $8 million ain't going to hurt that bad, because even though he's a super talented player walking on you, he's also a super talented player at $8 million that's been with your team the whole time. Maybe you have a better chance of signing him on a re-sign than anyone else. And I'm also kind of glad he didn't go to the Phoenix Suns, because I think he soups them up quite a bit if he goes there. Maybe he didn't want to go into a new locker room situation. And that's what I thought it was with him, man. Some guys, man, depending on what their history is, they may not want to go into new locker room situations. I thought about that with D'Lo, because it's like you got to reestablish yourself not only as a new guy, but a new guy with a certain reputation. And so that might not be something everybody really wants to do when you have the type of history that a guy like Miles Bridges has. So I thought about that when that statement was released. It's like, you know, it ain't easy to go into every locker room. It ain't easy to reestablish yourself, especially if someone thinks of you as a wife beater or what have you. It's like, you know what I mean? That could be a situation where you have a lot of static, or you coming in behind the 8 ball with a lot of dudes, and it can just make for a bad locker room experience for a lot of people with those type of reputations. So I wouldn't be surprised if Miles Bridges tries to re-sign with the Charlotte Hornets. He's never played for another team. They know him in and out. They knew him before and after the circumstance, and the rest of the league doesn't. It'd probably be easier for a journeyman who has situations like that, who's been in 7 and 8 different locker rooms, who knows the whole league basically personally because of it, as opposed to a guy who's only played with one team and he picks up a reputation like that. So, you know, that's just my speculation, but I thought it might be a little hesitancy with him, or dare I say fear, of what he's going to have to deal with trying to prove himself to be a solid dude in a new locker room, a new coach and all that, new fan base. It may not be something he really wants to do. And so that's part of it, I think, that is there to read in regards to the tea leaves with Miles Bridges specifically. But because otherwise, for the sake of just comfort and familiarity, it ain't no reason to stay in Charlotte if you're him, and not unless you see something that I don't see. Then don't get it twisted. They got a nice thing going there with Brandon Miller and himself and LaMelo Ball. If LaMelo can stay healthy, they really feel good about that trio. But you feel a lot better about being in Phoenix with KD, Booker, and Beal on an $8 million contract. You basically souped him up to be an NBA champion if you go there. And he said, "No, I want to stay with a bad team." So it's like, all right, cool. I guess you do. You know, it's that kind of thing. Like, I personally would have been in Phoenix or in LA quick, fast, and in a hurry, because that's the best opportunity he's probably going to get to win an NBA championship. And at that point, you want to win an NBA championship, because once you get on that big contract, it's almost damn near impossible. Once people start to realize that you're in a position to where you are more or less somebody that people say, I don't know if I want to pay him, and if we do pay him, it's going to be hard to build around old dude. If we pay him, he's somebody who can help us, but if he has another issue, now we got a bad contract on our hands. So it's like, he would probably be best to leave Charlotte and then resign with Charlotte in the offseason, having played with the Phoenix Suns, play up at straight value. So it's just a lot of stuff there that you just, like, if you just want to be in Charlotte, it ain't like they ain't going to save the money to get you. If you leave and you say you want to come back, believe me, you're going to be right back in that building, because ain't nobody else rushing to go there. So I guess it's good for Charlotte that all of this is in place, because you get such a high talented player who's basically saying he doesn't want to leave there, and that's exactly what you want. But do you have him saying that if he doesn't have all these issues? And is he going to be worth as much to you in the future because of those issues? Things that make you go, ain't no way to really know him. Ain't no way to know him. So all I can say is he impressed me against my Lakers, going for 45, and then last night he went for 47. Maybe next up is 50. Who knows how good of a run he's on. I personally think he's one of the most underrated players in basketball, and I would have done everything I could to put him on my basketball team at $8 million. But it's also some risk there that are obvious. So it is what it is, man. I don't know the specifics of his situation, but I know it had some question marks as to what the character of the other person in the situation was as well. How much of that was a toxic situation versus just him being an abusive person, which for some won't make much of a difference, but in the grand scheme of things can, depending on the situation to situation. So those are things that I would want to know about before bringing him in, and would determine whether or not I truly believe he would be an asset to my situation. But what you don't want to be is a team that co-signs that type of behavior, or be seen as somebody who's sympathetic to abusers. And that can get in the way of just simply bringing in the piece that you know can help you win, who you know can play at a high level on a low contract. But if he keeps playing like this, and I don't see why he wouldn't, it's going to be a lot of teams that wish they had him at $8 million. I'm just being honest. Taking the risk ain't the worst thing in the world for how he's playing. So that's pretty much what I gotta say. My name is BDO44. Thank y'all for watching. I'm out.